Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft server with me, Science Zedaf, here in my science laboratory. Just add the word science to the beginning of anything, and it makes it sound a little bit more sciencey. That's a fact. That's science. And today we are going to be continuing on our science with a massive, giant, flying arm that will farm absolutely everything in its path. But how many things can it truly farm? Well, that is exactly what we're trying to figure out today. I don't know the answer. Skip to the end of the video if you want to know that badly. I don't think you were listening. But before we get into that, time is of the essence, because this might be your last ever chance, to get your very own hands on your very own little Zedaf Science plush. So quick, stop now. Stop watching this and just head on immediately over before I run out of clocks. To the link in the description below, because it might already be too late. Now, to power this massive farm arm that we want, we are going to be using a little flying machine. The simplest one I found is literally this. It's just two observers looking straight up in the sky, wondering what's going on up there, with some sticky stuff underneath. If we put a piston facing that way with the sticky there, and then we put the other piston facing the other way like that. This is now a little two-way flying machine. So if we power it like this way, it's going. And it's just going to keep traveling that way until someone stops it. Oh, is it going to get hit by a carrot or something? Oh, no. No, it's fine. I should probably catch that up now, shouldn't I? Okay. Let's try and catch it. In fact, how do you stop these things? How do you stay on these things? Okay, I hadn't thought this through at all. Let's just get our handy pickaxe and whack. Whack. Oh, okay. So this should go back the other way now if we replace the slime. I guess I can just kind of put them anywhere like that. And then we do this back one. I'm going to fall off again, aren't I? Am I going to die? I hope not. Let's power that. Oh. No, it's coming back that way again. Stop. Yeah, okay, that's still going. That's somebody else's problem now. We are going to learn our lesson for once and actually keep this guy pinned between two unmovable objects, such as this obsidian or whatever we like. So now, when you go, little friend, you are just going to go all the way over to this side, and then you're going to come to a nice little stop. And then we can do this one to make you go back the other way. There, good. This was the demonstration I should have done all along, and what this allows us to do is actually add an extra arm all the way like this. This is our super duper arm, and when we set this going again, like so, you'll see it crushes everything in its path. Oh, it nearly broke that, including me. If you stand close enough, it just bounces you back a little bit. That's quite fun, actually. Maybe this is a brand new method of transport, as long as you're fine with a bruise in the face. Which totally reminds me of what we did to Grian, or for Grian, not the bruise in the face, obviously, the method of transport. This is very much like the elevator that we built when we were owning Grian's mansion last season. Obviously, this one is a horizontal thing, whereas our one before was a vertical thing, but it is the same. So it is kind of a method of transport, which is very, very nice. But the best thing about the elevator wasn't just that it moved, and the best thing about this farm isn't going to be that it can just farm anything we put in front of it. Oh no, the best thing, Nate, the most satisfying thing about this farm is going to be that it goes so flush through any wall of your choosing. We are going to have this thing come through this slit in the wall here, right into the maze room, right into the heart of the entire laboratory. And I think that is going to look pretty darn cool. So yeah, we have to dig this thing out as far back as we can. I don't even know where it's going to come out, actually. I hope we don't end up running through anything else. We've got a bunch of farms and things over this way. There's a whole, rest of a mountain to go through as well, so I'm really not sure exactly what we're going to run into. I guess let's just speed this up and see. Oh my goodness, finally. I was going to say daylight, but just any moonlight, any kind of light we need, really. Oh, that was a long old tunnel. Okay, the good news about this means we have plenty of farming space. This whole thing that's going to become a big trough where the arm is going to sweep along, that is going to be our harvestable harvestable area. So to have this thing come ploughing through the wall, we've had to make a few little aesthetical changes, such as these shulker boxes that now line all of the ways through. We can't just have the white concrete. It's too sticky. Anything that slime blocks would touch, we now have to replace with these. And I think that doesn't look too bad. Once you can sort of see a glimpse through there of all these different farms and stuff, you won't see as much stone. I think it's going to look pretty cool. But this does mean we can actually test the flushness of the nature of it. And if you didn't see the elevators before, you'll see exactly how nice and satisfying this is. Boom, the last one goes on there. Then we jump back through the little hole. It's like a letterbox. We shoot this. And are you ready? A moving thing. Whoom. Oh, it makes like a noise, like a thwomp kind of thing. It's so lovely, and it will come all the way through the middle of the room here and crash into the other side very abruptly, but that's fine because this side will be the trough, and over here inside this wall, over in this side of the wall too, we'll actually have the station where it kind of like comes to a rest, and that's where we can send it on and off from. So yeah, the middle of this room is actually going to be completely clear, which means we can still see the bar chart and the maze and everything too, but occasionally you'll just see this little slime block arm come flying on through. Oh my goodness. And if you're wondering where I got all those shulker boxes from, well, like the brave adventurer I am, I bought them from Jev's shop. They were 2 boxes for $1. It's a steal. Don't steal, kids. Stealing's bad. Right, okay, let's check this out now. If we hit this, hop up there, get a really good view of this. We can see it coming through the room, and I have done exactly the same on the other side. Even more money spent. You're welcome, Jev. And you'll see it just flows straight through. Thwomp. Oh, it's so nice. The fact that it doesn't stop and get all like caught up on the wall and that is very, very pleasing. So yeah, now that we have this in place, we can actually start playing around on this side, extending this tunnel all the way out. We've obviously got to make it big enough for nothing to get stuck on, and big enough to actually put crops in. But what crops, I hear you cry? Well, this little arm of mine, as good as it is at destroying things, it's not very good at creating and placing things. So anything that needs player interaction to replant, we cannot use. And of course, anything that requires player interaction to harvest as well, like vines or something, you need to use shears. And this thing can't hold shears, unfortunately. It's got an arm, but it's not got any hands. So we are left with things such as this, things that will be multi-block, things that will grow up like this, and then we can break this layer of it nice and easily, and it will automatically start planting again. So I think I've gathered everything in the game that is possible. Obviously, we have the sugarcane to begin with, so I guess we'll go through each one, and we'll quickly just show that it could do that. It could grow to there. Maybe it would grow further as well. They grow up to be 3 high, but this one's just going to kind of like get broken like that. It's not going to get like pinged off. So it depends how we're collecting all this, whether we want it to grow 2 or 3 high or not. Obviously, we need some water source for that, and it needs to be on sand or dirt. Next one, even easier, is some bamboo. Bamboo, it just wants to grow. Look, it's already growing all the way up here. That's too high. Again, we might need to limit the growth of this. Owie! I'll get to you in a minute, cactus, you impatient thing. But yeah, bamboo also works quite nicely. Very similar to sugarcane. Something to note, though, is the sugarcane here hasn't got a hitbox, right? I can walk right through it, whereas bamboo, certainly, bam, I can bamboo my face into it, and yeah, it hurts. So that might be an issue with item collection as well. But the next thing we have, now it's your turn, is the cactus. Of course, this will just grow up again to be 3 high like so, and we can shave off the top layer or the top 2 layers or whatever we want to do with that. Very, very nice. The next one, slight curveball, little mushrooms, little teeny tiny mushrooms. These will grow, both the red and the brown ones. If it's dark enough, they will spread like boop, like up to there, but they might also spread to here too. And I think the way mushrooms like to grow, they don't like to be too crowded, so not entirely sure. We might need to put something like a button or something there to stop them growing that way, force them to grow up onto this ledge, and the ledge obviously itself has to be made of something non-sticky, so that's why I'm using furnaces for now, or we could use obsidian or something like that. It just needs to be any solid block, but one that isn't going to get stuck to the bottom of the things. I did want to do pumpkins and melons, because obviously they're kind of like a multi-block structure as well. Why aren't the stems connected? I might have placed these manually, but I don't know why the stems haven't gone bloop over like that. We have to put it at the very tip, the very little wrist, I guess, of the arm, this very end bit, because obviously we don't want the stem to break, we only want this to break, and we can't really have the stem in any other place other than sort of not where the arm is going to hit there. But then, obviously, we have to grow this on dirt or grass or something like that. And for the same reason that we had to use non-sticky blocks here, why is things happening? We also can't use the dirt here either. So unless we do something like when it grows, we pull this dirt block down with a piston or something, I don't know. It's starting to get a bit complicated. We also have full automation of these two things already. So you know what? This arm can is the operative word here. It can do everything. But will it do everything? No, it's not going to do these, guys. You can have a rest. So boom, I get rid of you. But there is one final thing that is a multi-block growing structure that isn't a plant. And we should find some of this lovely mystery stuff just down in this cave around the corner. Ha ha! Drippy, pointy, teethy, weird, scary things. Yep, that's right. We've got the dripstone. I can just collect all these. We need as many of them as possible. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, do not fall on my face, please. I will be very, very mad and sad because I'm in a cave quite far away. So let's grab as much of this as we can and some of the blocks as well. Oh, hello, water. You're right there. That's good to know. Yeah, we are going to be growing some of this. Is growing the right word? They technically grow, don't they? They go from small to big, and that literally is growing. So I'm going to say grow. But yeah, dripstone can also be harvested in a similar way. Kind of like upside down sugarcane, really. That's how I see it. Anyway, we got any more pointy bits? We've got some over here. It does take a lot longer than like bamboo, for instance, but that's fine because you know, we don't have to be harvesting everything in every single harvest. Just when there's some available. Let's actually drop some down because it is incredibly satisfying to watch some of this fall. Boom. Whee! Okay, and with that all put in and some sort of dummy things planted as well, we can actually do a test harvest. Now, I've completely forgot to mention about kelp. Kelp is another multi-block grower thing, however, it needs to be in water, and namely water sources, which also kind of mess this up a little bit because, yeah, the big slimy arm is going to ruin this water source in the middle, which means it's never going to grow higher than this one block again. We can just kind of test it just to make sure I'm not missing anything crazy. But yeah, we got sugarcane. We got this, we've got cactus. All of these are going to fly into the cactus, I've just realized. So we've got a layering order here. They're just going to get destroyed. We've got these mushrooms, we've got drippy dripstone, and maybe kelp. Well, I mean, it will harvest, but it won't regrow again. So where's going to be the best view of this? I guess just down the side here. Let's give it a try. Haja! Boom! 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 Oh! This is quite pleasing too. Ah! Oh, okay. Oh, wait, it kind of dragged the water with it a little bit. Yeah, look, here, technically, I think if we grab some more kelp... what a mess. If we grab some more kelp... Oh, it kind of... You can place it, at least. Maybe it would regrow. I don't know, but the water certainly got, like, dragged with it and made a bit more of a mess. Item-wise, let's see what we got. We got plenty of things just, like, hanging around the floor. Yeah, much of it did get boosted into the cactus as well. Hello, Bamboo. You're crowing already. But the mushrooms got harvested, everything, some things even flew through there as well. That's kind of what we want, to be honest with you. We want these slime blocks, the power of them, to also push these things forwards as well to be collected. But that's going to be the next issue. Now we know what we're kind of harvesting, we need to figure out how to collect it. And I think we can break that problem down into 2 steps. First up, boom, we have collecting all of the stuff that drops into one place. And I think we can do that pretty simply with just kind of like some sort of trough with a water stream in, like so, that's just going to collect anything that falls in there. Because remember, it's getting kind of like bounced forwards really, really hard. So we could also maybe have like a little wall here. It needs to be made of non-stickable blocks, of course, like so. And I think that's as high as it can go. Yeah, the slime blocks literally scrape the top of this, so we can't go any higher. Oh, let's get the water source right there. So hopefully these would fling. Maybe we could put some water or some ice here as well so that the things just slide on over and go down, and that will group everything all together into one separate place. But then we still have the issue of actually traversing the entirety of this room, because remember, we want to collect everything over in this side of the hole here, and I don't think our slime blocks are going to be pushing things strong enough. So we must rely on the help of this little guy here. And no, we are not going to be using a minecart rail or anything like that. We are just going to be using the hopper minecart for its vacuuming properties and its ability to be a movable storage container as well. If we just rebuild this again, I wish they didn't break every time you did it. If we head over here, we can attach our minecart hopper to our arm. Obviously, it can't ride on top, but if we grab an iron trap door, this should provide like a little mini shelf. Boom, like that. It's still only 1 block high. Then if we go like this, and we pop our iron, our minecart hopper up there, we break it. Boop. It falls down and lands on there, and I do think we have the clearance. Did that pick up my stuff? It did, you stealer. But yes, we should have the clearance there to go through a 1 wide gap, as you can see. And then all we have to do is funnel all of these things that have gathered up here into a place that is pickable-uppable from this minecart hopper. I'm thinking like a little podium, right? So it's 1 block high. Boom. If we could get all of these things up to somewhere like this, let's put 12 of them on there. I'm hoping it just kind of scrapes them up. So I guess we can do a test of all of those things now. Let's go pacha. Let's watch what happens. Okay, it's right in. Oh, the wall caught a lot of things. And it did it. Excellent. It's staying on. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Okay, we have to dug underneath it. Perfect. There was a little bit of spillage around a few places too, but that's okay. As long as the majority of things actually go in. We got full picker-upperage there. We should have 12 things being delivered over the other side of the room here. This thing is so cool. I love it. Let's see. Did it stay on all the way till the end? It did barely. Oh, holding on by its little tootsies. And we have 18. Oh, so it actually picked up 6 more when the items were flying through the air. Perfect. Okay, so it cannot go back the other way, unfortunately, without having to have some sort of like extra thing attached to it. And also our arm's length is, I think, full. I think if we tried to add something else to it, like let's try and add 1 more block to it like that, I don't think it's going to go. Yeah, it's too heavy. It's too much stuff. But as soon as we do break that block, we're good to go. So the length of the arm is perfect. But yeah, that's how we're going to try and get everything we need over to this side of the room. Back over here on the harvesting side of the room, I think I have come up with a plan. So let's put it into action. We'll go through the plants in just a moment, but the collection area, this is really important. Obviously, we need to funnel them all into a singular place, but instead of putting them on a podium, I've decided why not put them on top of a bubble stream. Straight away, we got to lift them up anyway, so why not just let them float on top of a bubble stream? Let's put another blocker there like that. So now we can have a full bubble stream, not the packed ice. Let's go bam. And if I can climb up all the way around the edge, it's getting harder to build. We go 2, 3 like that. We break all these down into water. That should create some bubbles. There's the bubbles. Excellent. So things are going to just sort of gather up here and sort of float about on top of the water like this, ready to get picked up by the minecart there, instead of sitting on top of a block. We might need to also put a little lid on top there as well, so that they don't fly up and go crazy. They'll just sort of fly up, hit that, and then just bounce around in this gap. Now, the main collection area here, we want to have water flooding all of this way, but we can reuse some of that water by using the sugarcane water. So this here is all going to be sugarcane. Let's just do every other one. Save a little bit of time, like so. Break that all down. Excellent. Now we can remove the blocks underneath. And you'll see these blocks are moving real slow, which is not good because this arm moves pretty swifty. So we want these things to actually move as quick as possible. So again, we're going to be putting some ice down below these blocks here. Just these first ones, just while it's a little bit slower. Bam. Oh, get in there. Oh no, misplaced. Things are shooting out now. Things are flying out like crazy. Like that, and you'll see if we drop an item in now, it moves much quicker and then gets caught in the stream, and everything ends up over there. We do have a slight dead spot, right? Anything that falls in this lane here will obviously get swinged over to the side, and anything that falls here will just go straight into the bubble column. But anything that falls in this one is going to obviously hit that little dead spot over there where all the other bits and bobs have done as well. So we need to disrupt the flow with something just like this pressure plate right here, just stuck in the middle of the thing. And now you can see we have a little bit of a current, this one pointing to that way, this one pointing to that way. So hopefully now, if we drop some stuff in, yeah, it kind of still has a bit of sideways momentum to it, so it doesn't actually get stuck anymore. Ones that go that way are fine. It's actually ones that, we've moved the problem over to here now, where things like that, go on, keep going. You can do it, pressure plate. It's still technically moving. That would probably be too slow. And obviously anything that falls down straight on there is going to have an issue. But as you just saw even, it's actually hard to to drop something straight down there as well. So I think this is an improvement. Not sure if you've got any ideas. If you're like a water bender and you know exactly how to maneuver this water so that there's no dead spots at all, that would be very, very nice. But yeah, this water here now allows us, if we get some sugarcane, to plant sugarcane all the way along both of these rows as well. All of these are going to be bamboo, and I've picked this in a very particular order as well. Now, this whole section here is going to be bamboo, these, sugarcane, and the little dangly boys, because they play very nicely together. We can kind of compact them all in like this. We'll have 2 rows of each of the plants, and then 1 row of the dangly things above. But you can see these things are the only ones with hitboxes here, really. These kind of do too, but because they're up and out the way, nothing kind of collides anything. So 2 rows, there's no point in doing 3, because then the 3rd row, when they get broken, they're just going to kind of like hit the ones in front like this because they've not been popped yet. So there's no point in really doing that. But 2 rows, this back row still kind of hits a bunch of them, but a few of them do get through. These are obviously beautiful, and the whole of them pretty much go over. And these as well, once they dangle down, just a little bit like, can I do it? Blah, like that. As soon as that breaks, the hitbox here gets much, much tinier, boop, like that, and everything is fine. Anything that falls down in this water stream, or down in this side, obviously gets flowed over and picked up like our happy little pressure plates over there. Time for another test, methinks. We have fully grown out everything here possible. I also added some string down here as well, because I was a bit worried about these big dangly dripstones dripping down too much and actually breaking the water stream there, and I believe the strings will just stop that, but items can still fall down there, no problems at all. So we have our little cart going on here. I have no plants in my inventory at all, nothing in the hopper either. We're only growing the 3 things at the moment, the mushrooms and the cactus and stuff. That will have to be in another module, but you'll see, like, this is the size of it. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks, I guess. So then we can have another one here, 15 blocks, maybe another one, and we stretch all the way out to there. We can easily go outside if we want to as well. So we could have like 4 or 5 blocks even if we want to do as much as we like. So this is just one configuration. We could have a full one of just sugarcane. We could do whatever we like. But let's test this thing and see exactly the efficiency rate. Not that that's what we're trying to do, by the way. We just want a farm that farms an arm with arm in farm. An arm farm that farms everything. That's the goal. Let's see if we can achieve it. You go, little minecart. You go. And I don't want to pick anything up here. I just want to make sure everything's flowing as best as possible. We're going to get the bamboo first. Bamboo! Bamboo! Dripstone! Oh, sugarcane! Oh my goodness. Oh, this thing's going to get pushed out as well. That came whizzing by. Okay, there's a few things laying around. So what I'm going to do is quickly just... Oh, it farms torches, apparently. I'm going to collect up everything here, and then we will see what's in the hopper minecart. There's a lot of stuff on the floor. Oh, goodness. And how much did we collect? On its tippy toes again. Okay, all right, so this is what I picked up. This is what didn't make it through, and this is obviously what did make it through. So we made half the sugarcane. That's good news. We didn't get half the bamboo, but you know what? Bamboo grows real quick anyway, and this had grown up way too tall, way taller than it should have done. And we got more than half of the dripstone too, so that isn't a bad haul, honestly. The fact that this thing can just be set on a timer and just go back and forth, let's send this back and forth however many times we want without any interaction from us whatsoever, that's not bad. Let's grab this, swing, and let's see if we can make any slight improvement tweaks. And sometime later, tweaks have been tweaked, and we have got a pretty cool little system here. Let me give you a tour. First things first, I just added this side wall, because we can't put anything here. We can't, like this side, we have a wall going all the way up. We cannot do that here because, of course, we need to keep this 2x2 hole free for part of the machine, the engine of the machine, so to speak. So instead, I just thought, what if we just put some water over here that stops on its own at the end, so anything that would land up here is just going to go off as well. Minor thoughts, but, you know, why not? Over this side, I've also added an auto return system. Just this little bit here. So as soon as this guy detects the flying machine has landed, it will just literally spit out a pulse back to here and send it back off on its way again. And as you could see, the minecart that was here, that was on its tippy toes, just falls down and lands on this slanted rail, which will push it this way. Just a normal little drop-off station here. It will put all its items in, and then when the hopper minecart is empty, it will go back on its way down all the way under here, under everything, under the maze, under all of the big trough of farms that we will hopefully have as well. around the corner, all the way up the edge here as well, so it's not going to affect anything. And then at the top here, we've got this little piston system, which is very, very difficult to say. Basically, the piston will be closed, so this block will go here when the machine is not parked. All right, so at the moment it's open. That means the minecart can just come along here and fall back down. But if the machine isn't here, we want the cart to just wait up here on the piston. And we just do that by powering through the slime. I love that slime block is powerable. And we can just detect when this slime block is here and do a little thing into the piston over there. So the plants are in and everything is grown up. Are we ready for our final grand test of this module, at least, before we throw any other ones in? I think we might well be. I'm going to try and get good views of this whole thing. Here we go. Boom. Okay, we're going to power it and we're going to run, and we want to watch this thing from the normal viewing angle, I guess. Let's get rid of this. Here it comes. There's everything there waiting, getting picked up, getting hoovered. That's brilliant. Along it comes as well. Let's jump in this side. All it does, remember, is just immediately returns back, but the minecart is going to drop down and land here and empty out. And how much stuff do we have in here? Oh, there it goes. We got some stuff. We got plenty. And then this is going to head back on its merry way. And as soon as that minecart is empty, I'm raising it now. Please, don't squash me. As soon as it is empty, the minecart will be coming back up this way, ready for another run. The lock there is in place. Which one's going to come back first? The machine or the minecart? Oh, there's the minecart, and it's waiting up there. Let me get out of the way. No! I got my face smushed. That wasn't fun, but it's okay because, yeah, we are back again. So the minecart is up there way before the machine this time because I just did an immediate harvest, so there wasn't much to drop off. And you'll see, as soon as the machine parks up nice and happily, we are going to get, boop, boop, the minecart back, nice and empty, ready for the next round. And that is the system. All we have to do is replace this target block here with some kind of like automatic timer, maybe a day-night detector, just so that once a day, this thing just gets a little pulse, or maybe whenever we want, maybe there's a button back at the base or a pressure plate or something like that. And whenever we go over that, this thing just does a little harvest, and you can see the bamboo's already growing up as well. We will be moving this whole part of this backwards to fit more modules in too. Remember, we'll have the mushrooms and things, but we are still limited to the 5 slots, unfortunately, of the minecart hopper. So we're already filling up 3 of those with the bamboo, the sugarcane, and the dripstone. So we've only got 2 more. Maybe the mushrooms, maybe the cactus. I don't know. This thing has a lot of potential, you know. We can farm mobs with this. If we make a dark room and then, you know, have little platforms to the mobs to spawn on, they will get pushed off into magma blocks or lava or whatever we want, and then those drops could get collected too as well. So this thing's almost limitless. I told you, farm arm, farm arm. It is the future, folks. It is the way forward, and we are doing the science for it right here and right now. But that is all we have time for in today's episode. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so very much for watching right till the very end. Remember, you can leave a like, you can comment, you can subscribe, all those amazing things as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also want to give a massive thanks to my wonderful, beautiful patrons whose names are all over the screen right now. Each of these people help to support me, help to support the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciated. But until next time, a bye.